is leaked. Yeah, wait. Oh no. This is how the rednecks do it. And she's in, just like that. None of these bolts are actually in or tight, so. Woo! Chillin'. Skirt. It doesn't want to be easy. Can't tell, but I've got 12 volts. I am so pissed right now. Yo, 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 welcome back to Buttery Builds. All right, today guys, we're gonna be jumping straight into the brake system. First thing I need to say, if you are new here, go back, watch the previous episodes. We got a whole series going on of us turning this Mustang into a full-on Pro-Am competition drift Mustang. Last video, we ended off with getting the engine just set in place, along with finishing up the interior for the most part. We will divert back to doing harnesses, probably in the next video when we do the windows and the body panels and everything. This video, we're gonna get the brakes finished up. We're gonna finish up wiring the rest of the engine, getting the engine fully mounted, along with replacing the rear main seal, reinstalling the clutch, installing the transmission, the rest of the drivetrain, da-da-da-da-da-da. Other than the brakes and all the other little things that we need to complete, our main objective of this video is to get this engine running. We're gonna get the Pro-Am project fired up for the first time. Make sure to stick around to the end to hear her start for the first. The brake system should be pretty easy. I still have majority of the stock brakes from the V6 Mustang on here. Should be the same as the V8 stuff, so I can just pick and choose what's best and what I want to use. Bolt it up. I already got the lines attached up here at the reservoir. I'll just hit all four corners. And that is all mounted. And there's two brake lines done up front. Y'all ready for some more YouTube magic? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Boom, and there we go. Rear wheels are off. So back here, we've got the dual caliper set up. So one of them will be for the hydro and one will be for the actual main foot brake. Should just have the foot brake one, yep. Mounted up right here. We can attach this and then we will have to get the lines out of that car to run the actual hydro. Throw a zip tie right there. Should be tits. Got the lines removed. These are gonna sneak in through here. This will be the main one that goes to the hydro. I was able to reuse these little grommets, so it's gonna plug that hole back there that I'm running the line through. Should look real slick-like. It just pops in and goes to right here. Oh, that part just cracked. Hydraulic handbrake. Boom, installed. We'll just do those two for now. No, wait. Oh no! I just squirted brake fluid all over. Fudge, I didn't mean to pull that. I was trying to say I'm gonna have to take this back off to do the shifter, but now I got a mess to clean up. I got that tightened up, did a little zip tie right there, ran it through the center, and she's poking through the back here. Did a zip tie right there for this longer line. She's looking good for the interior. I just need a new crush washer for the other side. I already bolted up this side right here. We'll zip tie these lines down here. Then all we gotta do is bleed it. Okay, right as I thought, I was just about gonna finish up with the brakes. I ran into an issue. The brakes on this Mustang has the stock lines that is supposed to come to a T pretty much, that runs then to the rear caliper, and the other T goes over to the other caliper. Unfortunately, I don't have that stock brake line. On the other car, it appears I actually chopped the line and then used my own. Here's the lines that I took off the white car. I actually had adapted the stock line to go to an AN T, and unfortunately, I don't know where the tool is to adapt it to here, and I'd probably have to get a new fitting anyway. So in that case, it's just easier if I get that stock replacement line and then just adapt it to fit. That'll probably be better than trying to deal with this whole big mess. I'm gonna jump over to the transmission and the rear main seal. We're gonna go ahead, pull this rear main seal out, install our new one, and then we can get to swapping the bell housings on the transmission. Okay, slipping underneath the car. Dang, it's clean underneath here. I wonder if somebody spent hours scrubbing every inch of this car. Here's our rear main seal. As you guys can see, it is leakated. We're gonna go ahead and take a pick and gently pry and pull it out. Once you get all the way back behind it, you can work it all the way off. There we go, heck yeah. There we go, a little bit of lubricant on there. Make it go in nice and easy. Just work it around and in. There we go. Oh, you want it to go in as even as possible. Got it started. Sweet. That should be good to go. I went ahead and pulled the bell housing off the transmission that came out of the white one, pulled the bell housing off the transmission that came on the red one. Now I'm cleaning them up, putting this bell housing on this transmission, and then once we install the clutch, it can go back together. Heck yeah. Okay, that's tight for sure. Okay, going in. And I'm gonna set one in here so that way it doesn't fall on me. And then I'm gonna slowly go through and finger them in with Loctite. Got some orange high heavy duty Loctite. Hopefully this stuff works. Oh. Drip, drip. Let's start with this one. Now I'm going to set my torque wrench to 85 foot-pounds, and we're going to torque these babies down. Need some sort of pry tool. Say hello to my little friend. Boom. Oh, my arm. Oh. Sweet. Flywheel is on and torque to spec. That's all the time I've got for today though. We'll come back on the next day and install the clutch and the transmission. Oh yeah. Glass, baby. Put the cowl back in so she looks somewhat more completed. Unfortunately, I can't do the A-pillars or whatever cover panels until I do the rear glass, so hopefully I can do that this weekend. But for now, we got the front glass. Now, to divert back to the transmission and installing this clutch. Okay, well, I just hope that is aligned enough. I just kind of did it with my eyeballs, sticking my finger through the hole. It feels like the pilot bearing is centered, so let's go ahead and torque it. Okay, that should be torqued to spec. All right, now to see if the transmission will stab in. See, it looks pretty centered-ish. Show you guys here a trick. A lot of people think you need a full-on car lift and a full-on transmission jack and stuff. They just have the rednecks do it. Take you here, tranny. We'll pick her up on your chest. And get in the right area here. And then we're gonna stab her in. And I just realized I f***ed up and I didn't put the bottom mount on. No! Now it's just nicely sitting on top of me. Do a little reach around. You guys can't see this, but this is an insane technique. I'm reaching behind and through my legs to screw a bolt onto the transmission mount. Now what I do, purely just pick it up with my knees and my hands, line it up, and kind of give her a little humping. There we go. Like that. And she's in, just like that. That really go in, just like that. Dang guys, it went right in! Holy shit. That should be on there. Enough so it doesn't fall on my face. Okay, I'm not holding transmission. It's fully holding itself up. None of these bolts are actually in or tight, so it's a little bit scary. Just a little bit scary. Hey, we've only been recording for 20 minutes. And I had to get in and out of the car like 3 times. That means we got that fully installed in like 10 minutes. That's pretty sick. I am so pissed right now. I've got the transmission fully in. It's all bolted. I got all of the bolts bolted up nice and tight. I was even starting to mount the motor mounts fully down. And then I looked over here. You're supposed to be inside the transmission. Oh, I forgot to put the freaking clutch fork on the tranny, and now I have to drop the transmission. All right, great. Let's get these bolts removed, get the transmission dropped, and then throw the clutch fork in. And then we can put the transmission back in. Ah. Okay, 45 minutes later, got the transmission removed, clutch fork put back in, and transmission reinstalled. I've now secured the engine mounts, the trans mounts, and they are locked in place. Last thing I'm gonna do for the end of the night is throw the drive shaft in and even throw some transmission fluid in. Let's get to it. Transmission and drive shaft installed. Woo! Okay, I removed the drain plug. I'm actually gonna flush some fresh fluid through. That way I know it's kind of somewhat clean. I don't know what fluid was in here before. And then we'll plug up the drain plug and fill it till it starts coming out the fill hole. Oh yeah, here we go. Fresh fluid coming through. Nice. Now that we got fresh transmission fluid coming out, I'm gonna go ahead and install the drain plug. Fill up approximately 2.5, 3 quarts until it starts coming out the top. Come down. Just about got whipped in the face with that. There we go. Woo. Just like that, got the transmission full of fluid, drive shafts in, transmission's fully mounted, engine's fully mounted now. I'll catch you guys in the next clip for you, but for me, it'll be a couple days on the weekend. Doors going on.
getting this off by yourself, Rex.
Just taking bolts off at that point.
And let the door drop.
That's why it's not going in so easy. There's a bolt left in there. Okay, let's try this again. I feel like it might work this time. Spread her legs wide.
Oh shit.
Dang, son, we got doors so we can get doors now.
I'm just the door holder, bro.
Thanks, dude. Just like that. Nice. Passengers are not going to get the choice to roll it up mid-lap, so it's either going to be down or up, and we're going to have to open or close it with the door open. So, but boom, and it actually lined up kind of somewhat okay for only having 2 bolts holding it in right now. So it's actually holding up better than that door with all 4 bolts in it. Sweet, that's a win. That's a win. Oh yeah, I tightened this all the way and it still moves this much. Jeez. But a little bendage on the fender. Oh my God. And it fits. Sweet.
Yeah, like I said, it feels stiffer than I remember it.
Feels better.
Feels stiffer, which I would assume would be better.
I can see the caliper squeezing back here, so I know it's working. Good. We've got the hydro fully bled. We got the doors on. Last thing I'm gonna do real quick is yank this power steering pump off. We got a lifetime warranty on it after I broke that back return nipple. So swap this out for a freshie, get my warranty. Booyah. And if you are curious how that is done, check out the video in the corner. Boom.
You know, I just barely processed that I helped you remove the motor that I grew up with.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
That's wild.
You helped remove the motor that you probably saw your first ever burnout in, huh? Yeah. Oh, chillin'. Major progress for a short amount of time. Doors on, got a hydro, put the power steering pump on. I even got the clutch cable installed and adjusted, and the fuel filter as well. So little stuff here and there. It all adds up though. Catch you in the next clip. Finally back with the correct part for the brake system. We had a mix up with the wrong part, and now this should be the correct line. Get this thrown on here, and then we can bleed the actual brakes finally. This line's gonna go to that caliper. It's got a little mounting bracket. It goes right there, and then it's gonna go to those 2 lines. It's gonna be hard to film myself doing this, so we're just gonna go 3, 2, 1. With everything tightened up back here, that seals our entire brake system. Time to add some fluid to our reservoir, get this thing pumped up and bled. Remember, when you're bleeding your brakes, you want to start with the caliper farthest from the reservoir. There you go. So we're gonna go in that back corner, then that corner, then up front, and then here. And we'll probably do it 2-3 times because the system was completely open, and yeah, there's a lot of air in there. I'm not seeing any leaks, that's good. Both the bleeder screws on the front calipers are stripped, so I had to use vice grips. Don't recommend, but I'll get new bleeder screws in the future. Oh yeah, no bubbles. Skirt, skirt. Skirt, skirt, skirt. All right, let's see how this feels. Oh yeah, that's a brake pedal right there. Oh, and that's a brake pedal right there. I don't know if I felt that. That feels really good, actually. Why does this feel better in this car than it did in the other car? What the heck? And this isn't even mounted down all the way. Sweet. Skirt. Oh yeah, we got stopping power now, baby. Woo woo! With the brakes fully completed, it's time to check off our list. Yes, we have got a lot accomplished from the last video. Inspect clutch, inspected. Clutch is good. Cha-ching! Install engine, cha-ching! Install wire harness V1, cha-ching! Pedals, booster, steering column, cha-ching! Dash, tack, seat, wheel, whoop! Swap bell housings, shake! Install transmission, whoop! Install drive shaft, yeet! Okay, coilovers. We have not done that. We're actually gonna save that for next video, along with these control armies. Power steering pump, swoop! Install windows, we're halfway there. Install doors, did the doors, but body panels, we're gonna save the rest of the body panels for next video as well, when we do the coilovers. There was a lot of little stuff that wasn't on the list, like bleeding the brakes and the hydro. We knocked that all off, a bunch of other little stuff. Didn't feel like writing down, but we also accomplished, got it knocked off. With the brakes fully bled, it's time to get this engine running before the end of the video. We gotta get the starter in, the exhaust finished, throw the battery in, plug in a couple more connectors, and then she should be ready to go. Got some fresh oil for her, but not much time to do it. Woo! I've really been avoiding this section of the wiring harness because I'd like to at least electrical tape it like I did the rest of the car, but it looks really, really bad. But all right, we're gonna get to it. Electrical tape, throw the starter in. Got this. Well, it doesn't look too much different up here, but down below, I taped that entire harness, got everything underneath all in place. Now up top, I'm gonna throw the alternator back on. We can run the pulley system. I'm gonna throw the radiator and fan in. That way we can wire absolutely everything up, and then we'll be ready to start this thing after we add some oil. So, oh, I guess I need to do the exhaust as well. I've been trying to put that off, but exhaust, wires, and then we're starting this thing. I just reused the stock fan that came with the car. I tried some cheap electric ones and they were worse than this. So I just run the stock fan and it honestly doesn't do bad. This line, yeah. Power steering lines going on. There we go. All right, if you guys watched any of the drift events from last season, you probably know I need a smaller belt. It's been falling off on cold starts for some reason, but it's the belt we got for right now, so it's the belt we're throwing on. Fuel line going on. Gotta make sure the grounds are tight. Fuel system complete, everything else is buttoned up pretty much. Let's go ahead and add some fluid to the power steering pump. That way we don't fry it on their first start. We'll hold off on the water for right now, but power steering fluid, and then I'm gonna start doing this exhaust that I've been putting off. There we go, some fluid on the power steering pump. Now when we start it, she's not gonna fry the brand new pump. I unfortunately gave my cap away with the warranty pump. I left it on the pump in the box, gave it away. It was a brand new cap too, so that sucks. I'm gonna have to go get a new cap. For now, that'll do just fine. Okay, now exhaust time. I've got 30 minutes till I have to leave, so I'm right down to the wire of getting this thing started. Get the exhaust on there, battery, we can attempt to start it. Not sure if I'm gonna be able to do that in 30 minutes though, because I still have the negative cable I need to run and the battery, and that could be a whole 10-minute fiasco. So if this exhaust fights me, we may have to come back to start it, but fingers crossed. It doesn't want to be easy. I think that shit actually just went in. That's crazy. Woo! Main part of the exhaust is on. Needs a couple zip ties down here for the wires, but other than that, we are hooked up. I'll worry about those bolts at a later time. For now, let's add some oil. Radiator mount on. We only need one, it'll be fine. Oh. And since mine's bored over a little bit, I usually like to add an extra half quart to quart. Do that much for now. Yeah, right there. Boom. Unfortunately, we are not gonna start the engine tonight. We're gonna start it in this video. I'm determined to come back on the weekend, get her running for the end of this video. Tonight, exhaust is on, finish the power steering system, the fuel system, got a lot done, wiring, starters installed. She's about ready to start. Like, she could go for a drive right after we start, pretty much. I threw the wheels on to make her look a little bit prettier for the outro here, but I will catch you guys when we go make this thing run. As you can see, it is now a new day and we are back. I was missing one very crucial thing to start the Mustang the last time we were here, and that would be gasoline. This thing is not gonna start without gas in the gas tank, and the gas tank is completely empty. So let's throw this in here. I actually forgot about the wire harness in the trunk to the fuel pump, and we gotta throw the battery in still. So a couple little things, but we're gonna get her started for the end of this video. I still need an actual battery tie down, but to start it, I can just set this in here for now. Take the chassis ground off this chassis still real quick. Perfect. The chassis ground locked down. We're gonna run this to the block, and then that chassis ground will also go to the block. Tighten that down and our grounds will be completed. Not too shabby. Battery's all tight. I'm gonna double check the grounds on the inside. We're gonna add some gasoline and see what happens, I guess. Radiator hoses are tight. We're now gonna loop the heater core lines because we're not gonna be running a heater core on this car. I should just be able to probably snip this line right here and do a little 180 with it. Put the heater core line looped, and that is it for the cooling system. We'll add water probably the next time I come when I grab some actual distilled water. I do have wetter water already. So she's ready to be filled up. Now it's time to stop delaying and see if this thing will start. I'm trying to think of anything else. I know there's a couple vacuum lines I think I'm missing. Need to do some reevaluating there. Took a quick look underneath the white Mustang and found this little guy right here with the vacuum lines that I'm missing. So we're gonna zap that off real quick, throw it on there, and then we'll try to start it. Can you guys tell that I'm nervous and delaying starting this thing? A little ear, boom. Nice. Over and to this nipple here. Walked around again, double checked all the grounds. We're gonna put the key in the ignition and see if we have battery power. Oh shit. We got lights. We got lights. Woo, okay. Okay, I'm nervous. All right, I'm gonna set you guys up towards the engine bay. The exhaust is not bolted up all the way. It is disconnected right there, but from the headers to there, it's chilling. She should start though. You know, I didn't hear the fuel pump kick on. In the white car, I wired up a toggle switch and ran the fuel system all on its own wires. This one I actually hooked up the OEM wiring system. In theory it should work, so we'll see what happens. I'm not hearing the pump though. No pumpe. All right, let me show you where we're at. I just spent about an hour messing with the fuel pump wiring. I ended up swapping the wiring out of this car into this car. That way it just ran on its own toggle switch and relay system. Looking into it, it appears I actually have power going to the fuel pump, but the pump is not triggering. I found a second pump that we're gonna power up and see if it works. If so, then we're gonna have to swap this fuel pump out, and then she should start. Let's double check. Negative, positive. Probably can't tell, but I've got 12 volts. So that typically indicates the pump is the issue. I've got a spare one over here actually. So let's plug this in and see if it fires up. Oh yeah. I don't want to run it dry, but you guys heard that. It fired right up. So that means we got a bad pump, unfortunately. Let's go ahead, pop this out, get her swapped out. Neutral. We've got no water in the cooling system, so I'm not gonna let it run for very long. There we go though, it's alive. Everything is working as it should, it appears. So that is a huge victory. Woo! You guys know how to do a quick little cold start for the Instagram story and the TikToks. If you guys don't follow me on the other platforms, make sure to go over there, follow me on all the platforms. You know, you get the little behind the scenes before the long form videos are posted of what's going on, what's kicking my ass, you know? Other than that, we got the Pro-Am project running. Fire it up one more time so we can do some cinematic shots while the engine's running and the exhaust is chooching. That's enough. Sweet, that's good. Got her started up a couple times. No water, like I said, so when we come back, we're gonna finish up the water, bleed that. We're gonna have to bleed the power steering system. Need to finish up tightening up the back half of the exhaust. And that, our main goal of the next video is to get a rear window installed. We're gonna be attempting to make a Lexan plastic rear windshield. Then we can do all the body panels, our side skirts, A-pillars and stuff like that. And the best of the best, BC coilovers. Don't worry about the mess on there, but BC coilovers. We're gonna throw on our new suspension and some fresh control arms. So this thing is gonna be stiff, tight, and ready to turn. Yee yee. In all seriousness, if you guys made it to the end of this video, I just wanna say thank you so much. It means the world to me, you guys watching my video all the way to the end. If you guys could leave a like, the YouTube algorithm would really appreciate it. Comment down below your favorite part in the video, or if I had any questions, if you could help me answer that down below. If you guys have opinions, I read all of the comments. And if you guys would like to hear or see more of the Pro-Am project, make sure to subscribe for more. Content's just gonna keep getting better and better, and you're not gonna wanna miss out. I'm for real, just a dude out here making videos with his car, trying to become a professional drifter. So If you guys have similar interest or enjoy, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Deuces.